There we go, better angle. Hey guys, as you'll notice, I'm wearing a fucking jacket. It's May 23rd, and it's been like 50 degrees, raining and windy. I had to turn on the heat to my house yesterday, which is bad because I only had like 3 ounces of oil left. I might have burned out all my oil. I need to go buy more. It's insane that it's fucking May, and we have a week and a half straight of 50-degree, raining, windy weather. Oh god. And there was a potential for snow. I haven't looked outside yet. Maybe we got snow. I don't know. If we got snow, I'm filing a complaint against the government because they need to fix their weather machine. That's a joke. I don't believe they have a weather machine. I'm just kidding. Anyway, the point of this video is to say results. If you didn't see those other videos, I've talked about it extensively, but I got a colonoscopy done because I was having a lot of stomach problems. I was having like myographic, not really, just like diarrhea, like every day, like going to the bathroom like 5 times a day before even going to work at like 2 p.m. So from like 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., I'd be shitting. And so I had a colonoscopy. The prep for that sucked. Whatever was good. They discovered I had polyps that needed to get removed, which they did while they were in there, and then they saw inflammation of my colon, so they took a little sample to biopsy. They biopsied both the polyp and the whatever skin sample that they took, and it took like over 2 weeks to get the call back. Finally, I actually called them saying, "Hey, do we have results?" And they're like, let me give a note to the doctor, and he'll get back to you." So that was a couple days ago. He just called me, and everything's fine. Basically, they said that the it was like hyperplasia polyps, which are non-cancerous, benign, and basically nothing to worry about. They're the kind of thing where it's like, these are the types of polyps that don't interact with the timeline of future colonoscopies. So like, oh, you should go back for a colonoscopy in like 5 to 10 years or something like that, and which stays the same now, instead of this polyp saying, "Hey, come back in 2 years" or whatever have you. It doesn't affect that timeline at all, which is good. So non-cancerous, totally fine. And as far as the inflammation goes, as far as he could tell, he said looked like minor colitis, which is just inflammation. And he said, in his opinion, this isn't like the diagnosis of it, but in his opinion, from what he has observed, he said that it was likely just inflammation caused by the actual prep of the colonoscopy, because that's such an irritating process, especially if your body's not done that type of fasting and whatever have you, and having not eaten anything for a while. So, and I asked him, like, okay, so with all that being said, are there any, obviously besides fiber and eating healthy, is there anything I should add to my diet, take away from my diet, just things I should adjust in my daily intake of food and drink? And he said, no, you shouldn't really have to change anything besides, like you said, general eating healthy and having sufficient amount of fiber. So I'm like, okay. And it's I'm not upset about the news. It's one of those things where it feels almost disappointing because I'm just back in the same place again, in the same way that when I was having really bad heart palpitations and all this other stuff, and I went to do multiple Zio patches. I had the different like scans and all this stuff and different studies, and the results were basically nothing. But as a precaution, he said, could be tachycardia, we don't know, so start taking metoprolol for the tachycardia that we're just gonna say you have. But it's not like, I don't think it's an official diagnosis, because it's never in any of my charts. They ask me your medications, I tell them, they're like, oh, what's that for? I say, kind of like a tachycardia, I guess, but it is not like in a system as you have this thing. So I don't know. But so that was like disappointing because there was nothing that I could like point the blame at and then like directly work towards solving or improving. It was just kind of like, I don't know. Same thing with the sleep study. I did the sleep study last year, and because I've talked about it before so many times. If you're from the old channel, you know. The amount of times where like I just wake up during the night. I fall asleep and I wake up constantly throughout the night. And I will say it's less bad now because I'm waking up a little bit earlier and I'm working and I'm using so much of my brain throughout the day. Um, I am falling to sleep a little bit earlier, and I think that's probably also just from getting older. I'm just more tired. So, falling asleep a little earlier, I'm still waking up so many times throughout the night, but I notice that I wake up more often from between like 3 and 7 a.m. I'll be fine for like the first couple hours falling asleep. Like I'll start by getting 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and then I'll start waking up consistently, and then I'll wake up like 10 to 15 times between 3 and when I wake up 9 a.m. or something like that. But the sleep study revealed nothing, which is crazy because I woke up a bunch of times, but their thing showed that, yeah, you slept through the night. Like, no, the fuck I didn't. You weren't there. Like, you were watching the camera waiting for me to fart so you could, like, close a bet with your friend of how many times the people you watch fart in a night. Which, by the way, I didn't fart at all. I held it in. I don't usually fart in my sleep. You needed to know that. That's pertinent information for being on this channel. So yeah, the sleep study revealed nothing to adjust and nothing whatever have you, which is like, okay. And the heart stuff revealed nothing, and now this revealed not nothing. I got an answer, I guess. Not really, because I don't think like the polyps were causing anything. It was just like your bowels are upset with you. Maybe the polyps were causing something like that, just the general irritation. But I guess that's just how my stomach has evolved as I've grown. I don't know. So, but either way, I'm not complaining at all. I didn't want it to be cancer. I'm very thankful for that. Uh, Whatever powers that be, you a real one, homie. Appreciate you. Um, but it does just kind of leave me in a spot where like nothing has changed. The status quo remains the same. So it's like, what do I do? you know. And obviously it's like these things have not resulted in nothing. With the heart stuff, it's like, all right, absolutely limit caffeine intake. um, But like Red Bulls don't have a whole lot of caffeine, so I still have energy drinks on occasion. But in between having energy drinks, there are multiple days throughout the week where I don't have any caffeine and I have caffeine or I have decaf coffee instead. So it's like my caffeine intake is far less than it ever has been before. I still have it, and as long as I don't feel the pressure, like the palpitations or like anything like that in my chest, then like I'm fine right now, so I'm having the caffeine, totally good. But if I'm having a day where it's like, oh yeah, I don't feel right with this, I stop having it. So, and then with the diet stuff, it's like, yeah, I'm having more fiber. I'm doing more fiber, obviously, as everyone should do. Hey, go get Metamucil or Benefiber and add that to your daily diet. It'll help. Or soak some chia seeds or something. But anyway, I don't want to keep rambling. I'm already going for 8 minutes somehow. Fuck, I need to start writing. But yeah, good news, good news, good news. No issues, and I'm fine. So, yippee. Yeah.